Venture capital. People waiting for a VC who's tall, shiny, and pretty to anoint them with permission to hustle for entrepreneurship. Look at how many distractions are going on in this world. How many people are actually focused on a little known protocol that's as old as time itself? Turnarounds. And if that word is so simple that you don't write it down, well, that's why it just kind of passes you over, where you're like, there's no way. When I'm going to offer you an avalanche of evidence, starting with that simple little triangle, which is lead generation. So, if you should practice doing a turnaround of a thing. So this is how everyone else does it. Everyone wants to start with a brand new baby that's just been born, that's magically the perfect baby. Guess what? They had a movie about this, and that perfect baby, he turned into Darth fucking Vader. So there's no perfect baby to be born. We're just going to have to turn around a piece of turd and then get pretty rich. Now, the reason I say pretty rich versus very rich is that you'll get distracted because something will distract you versus you keep on going while you're keeping on going on. Are the Stanford basketball shoes perfect? Yeah. Are the Stanford baseball shoes that are perfect? Definitely. These things dovetail into Irv Grousbeck's book, New Business Ventures and the Entrepreneur. And if you're not a big reader, ta-da! If you're not a big reader, read this one book, which is chapter 17, which is avoiding bankruptcy. And for all the people that are like, Duck Nine's not even real, or like there's an avalanche of evidence just like this video. So this video is about turning around things and then getting pretty rich, where maybe you've not really focused on reps and business practice or even selling your first thing. So this is doing a turnaround. Where we as practitioners, we don a mask, and that mask helps us practice entrepreneurship. Bullet point number 4. Selling your first thing using lead generation. So in that bottom right triangle, paste copy, live action business case study 1453. Live action business case study 1453. Right here. Live action business case study 1453. That's where you're turning around a company that currently is a big pile of turd. And that's based off of live action business case study 1451, Overstock. Overstock has now been rebranded as Bed Bath & Beyond. Now you might be saying, hey, I'm going to need venture capital and private equity to do this. Well, you don't, because I came up with this triangle for you to see treasure. Lead generation. So lead generation is the practice of buying leads for $50 and then selling those leads for $15 to $200. Let me repeat. Is buying leads for $50 and then selling those leads for $15 to more than $50, maybe $200. Do you notice a problem there? One, it's going to take you money to make money, and that's bad. And two, you're looking at a book that's maybe not super helpful. 100 million, let's focus on your first 600K, which Alex Hormozi has left off. That's what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt, but that they do teach you at Stanford Engineering, the 0 to 600K. If this sounds dangerously close to Peter Thiel's 0 to 1 billion, there's a reason for that. And so let's examine lead generation in bullet point number 7, which is you want to be able to do lead gen up to the 600K revenue without using money. How are we going to do that? By using external APIs. So you don't need permission from a VC, while you also don't need permission to generate sales leads. And this is why, if this doesn't go on to your personal treasure map, you're not going to get a shot at making 600K, because some of these details will be so simple that they'll pass right through. And then you'll forget to do it, and then you'll lose your arbitrage. Because you can do this at any conference that's industry focused. Let's call it Pest World. Let's call it South by Southwest. Let's call it Sundance Film Festival. Literally any festival. Oh, chapter 5. Bullet point number 11, chapter 5, which is Crossing the Chasm. Jeffrey Moore. Assemble the invasion force. I want to say page 126. Assemble the invasion force while you do bullet point number 13, EUTWM PPM. Engineer up a tidal wave of momentum perpetual promotion machine. If this is the first video that we've met, it's really nice to meet you, and some of these things you can research on your own, because I've productized myself, where I don't need to be the person teaching you all these things. I literally mapped out your lead generation, sell one thing, and then you paste copy a live action business case study, or you do your own startup in a live action business case study, number it however you want, where you're running external APIs and you're running protocol EUTWM PPM at a conference, where you get the return on investment of that conference before that conference even executes. So let's say it's Bitcoin mining in Minneapolis or Miami. You're getting return on investment for Bitcoin mining disrupt in Miami before the conference takes place in January, February. Ditto Bitcoin Las Vegas, May 26 to 28, 2025. That's a sequel to Bitcoin Nashville. So you're doing EUTWM PPM as you're doing lead generation while getting to 600K revenue without the use of venture capital, being massively capital efficient.